Somebody done got in here from the spaces. All right. Man, I'm sorry. Nobody, no one made you groove like Timbaland. No one. So hot. Timbaland's so dope. All right, so listen, this is what's going on. If you're on X, let me get a thumbs up real quick that you can hear me. And I see right now we got some people dialing in from some other platforms. So here's what's going on. We're streaming on YouTube. YouTube's got me. We're streaming there on YouTube. And we have Facebook, streaming on Facebook, and streaming on Twitter. Y'all, let me get a thumbs up if you can hear everything that's going on right now. All right, there we go. Y'all got sound. Y'all got sound. All right. Y'all come on in here. Go ahead and hit that share button. Listen, let me. Hey, drop the beat for a second. Let me tell y'all something. The share button is probably one of the most dangerous, influential, powerful social media buttons out there that hardly anybody really pays attention to. Hit that share button. That thing is a form of capital. My friend Marcus Pittman talks about this all the time. Everybody like, oh, we love to support you, but we just don't have the money. It's like, listen, man, I get it. You don't have to tell me. There's all kinds of things I want to support that I don't have the money for. But if you have a thumb, I don't think you can spell it like that. If you have a thumb, that's not how you say it. If you have these things that are not pointer fingers, you should be able to hit the share button. That thing is a form of capital. That destroys the algorithms. That gets you in front of people that you normally don't get a chance to get in front of. It gets in front of your friend base. And so don't be ashamed of us, man. Hit the share button so we can grow and expand. So, all right. So a lot of you don't know because you're not on the Twitter X spaces. Yeah, I said it all together. So a lot of you aren't on the spaces, so you don't know what's happening or what's going on. And so there's been a lot of things at Cross Politic that have been going on that I can say that we should have been better at communicating to you kind of all the stuff that's happening. But here's the truth. We've been working, man. We've been putting in work, trying to make great content for you, trying to produce Christian content that benefits you and that's a blessing to you and your house and your household and your families. And so we've just been putting in work. We've completely redesigned our Fight Laugh Feast app and turned it into the pub. So now it's the Fight Laugh Feast pub. You need to go and get the new app. Listen, there are over 20,000 people still that need to update their app. What's up, my guy? I see you, Elliot. Miles, what's up, man? So go get the new Fight Laugh Feast app, download it. If you're a Fight Laugh Feast Club member, enjoy some of the new shows that are on there. There are TV shows on there, particularly one, well, just one right now. There's some other two coming. But the one that you want to see right now, Gabe has a show called This America. Fantastic show. This concept came out of the idea that we have kind of forgotten our roots. We have been covenantly unfaithful to God, and particularly our forefathers. We've not obeyed the fifth commandment very well. I'm gonna have to get into that maybe a little bit today, but that wasn't my intentions. We have not taken the blessings of our forefathers, of our parents, and thank God for them. Instead, what we've done is complain about what we don't have or how bad things are going. And we haven't put our hand to the plow in a way of a form of thank you to them. And so what This America does, what this show does, it goes to people who actually still have that kind of old school They're still thankful to their forefathers. They're still understanding the kind of world that we live in, and the people who are putting their hand to the plow and making good goods and services for other folks and blessing them. And it's like, well, how are you doing it? What is the process you're going about doing it? And it's really working with Christian businesses who haven't forgotten that this is God's world that has certain rules that you just can't break and not get away from judgment. And so they're just walking in faithfulness. What does it look like for a company to love God, love people, and to walk in faithfulness? Well, the first show we did that with was David Reese's Armor Republic. And we went into his company to see how he makes body armor, which he would call a tool of liberty. I texted him earlier to see if he could actually jump on, because I wanted him to talk a little bit today. I'll tell you guys what's going on with family stuff, but hold that. Well, it's coming up. And so This America works through businesses still being faithful, still creating a new parallel economy to bless folks. So that's This America episode 1. We did another episode with This America that's available right now in the Pub TV app. If you go and download the new app, you should be able to watch it. The second episode, we go to Maddox, which is not too far by, about Battleground, Washington. Is about, 5 hours away from here. And Maddox is a company that rebuilds transformers. And you would think, you think about this. How many transformers did you see on your way to work today? You didn't even count, because you don't even think about it. Maddox takes old transformers that's been on the field for maybe 30, 40 years. They rebuild them like they're brand new and put them back out inside of the economy, inside of, hospitals, inside of schools, they work with SpaceX and have transformers there. And that show is a fascinating, absolutely fascinating of show dealing with love and trifles. I don't even think about a transformer, but every time, right now, everything that I'm doing, this show that you're watching, me talking, X Spaces, all of it is functioning because these guys and guys like them have decided to take and rebuild these transformers so that power can get converted. And I'm not going to break all of the science down to you. I don't want to make you feel stupid. But it's in the show. If you watch it, Camden will break down all the science for you. But it's amazing and fascinating. Everything that you do, every switch that you turn on in your house, you're probably going through 2 or 3 transformers, and you don't even think about it. And it's a perfect analogy to the blessing that God has given us in the world, that we go about our day so many times in so many ways and every day with so many blessings from the Lord that we don't even think about. And here this company is saying, how can we love our neighbor, making sure that when they go to their kitchen, get some water, because you need electricity for that, to do anything in their day, to charge their cell phone, that they have power in their houses. It is just pure gospel, taking these old, broken down, useless pieces of metal, bringing them in, cleaning them up, and then, that's another thing. There's oil inside these transformers, right? So the oil, they take out the oil, put in new oil. It's just like giving it a brand new heart and then bringing it back to life. And it's so beautiful. So I can't tell you, look, these shows on This America are going to be phenomenal. The next show coming up is the cooking show. And man, like food, we've taken for granted how important food is to our theology. If you're going to a good church, then you should be thinking about this, because you should be having communion every Sunday. And every time you sit down to take communion, you should be thinking about, wow, God just invited me to have a meal with him. And not just him, but in that moment, we're having a meal with all of the saints, past and present. And so when you start thinking about food, the importance of food, it blows your mind. We take for granted, this goes back to, again, This America, but it goes back to this. We take for granted the fact that God has made a world with food on it. Evolution can't do that, right? It can't do that. God designed the world in such a way that he gave us food and nourishment and beauty and all these things. And so anyway, that show's coming next. We have a few Christian chefs who talk about the beauty of food, the purpose of food, how to make good food, and then the fellowship around food. So those are some of the shows. Have to hop off. All right. See you later. Chris Brown, I see you're going. All right. I'm looking at some of the comments here from YouTube. Yeah, I didn't notice Transformers or Facebook. Sorry, we're on Facebook too. Yeah, I didn't notice Transformers at all until we started doing this show and I started seeing how much of an amazing thing they were. All right, so my whole purpose for getting started today, this is going to be hopefully not a 2-hour. Yesterday was 2 hours. I blame it on the people who were inside of the spaces. So we're all over the place right now. We're on Twitter Spaces, we're on Facebook, my personal Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on Rumble. Let me tell you what. Let me finish with Cross Politic. So Cross Politic is doing 4 shows a day, and we're taking the rest of our week and our free time, and we're going to be producing a bunch of other content inside the app that is not just didactic or theological or political, but is more entertaining. We need good Christian entertainment to build good Christian cosmology, and so that's our goal there. That's one area. And I for the people on YouTube and Facebook, you guys are hearing this for the first time. If you're on Spaces, you heard this yesterday. So when you're on Spaces, I'm sorry, I'm going to kind of repeat myself a little bit, but stick with me because there's an update that I'm going to give both of you guys in just a moment about how I've structured this new show. So something happened the previous day or so ago that really got under my skin. And it was a bad thing that happened on ESPN or NFL, one of them. Basically, it was really gay, and I got mad. And instead of complaining, I could feel like, the thought came to my mind, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do other than complain? And so I thought, rather than complain about the bad state of media that I see out there, rather than complain about what isn't what I want, right? What am I going to do to make sure that we get that? And I went through, you should listen to that Twitter Spaces that I did yesterday. It's also on the Pub app. You can listen to that. It's Sorry ESPN, I haven't lost that much testosterone yet. You can listen to that inside the Pub app. It's a 2-hour show, but it was a crowdsourced 2 hours. So it wasn't just me talking. And so I decided to come up with a daily show on Spaces, a new platform. Spaces is the new radio. It is if there ever was a time that radio has been reinvented, theater of the mind has been reinvented, it's right now inside of Twitter Spaces. We should be all over it. Another platform that we should be all over. ESPN show was great. No, it wasn't. Sorry, War Cry Media. You are absolutely wrong. It was gay is what it was. War Cry, why did you do this to me? You just wanted to stir me up. So Warcry Media just in the chat, I know on YouTube said ESPN show was great. You know what? I think you triggered me. It wasn't great. Let me tell you why it wasn't great. See, I wasn't even going to go here, but this is what all they did for 5 to 10 minutes was talk about another man's clothes, how well he dressed, what gear he has on. Oh, my show on ESPN would be great. ESPN couldn't handle me. They would kick me off. You know what? As soon as I got on there and started talking about theonomy, ESPN would have me gone. As soon as I started talking about this conversation right here about why I don't like ESPN, they couldn't have me on there. ESPN would fire me so quick because it was gay. It was gay. It was just talking about another man talking about how great another man dressed and how great his arms were and all that. It was just super effeminate. And I'm like, I came here to talk about football. So anyway, I didn't want to complain. I said, let me do something. What can I do? I know I can't reach as many people as ESPN, but boy, if I can reach 1,000, if I can reach 1,000 to 5,000 through every show, and we're pretty close to reaching more. We reach more than that on Cross Politics. So I was like, if I can do this by myself, that'd be great. So I came with the idea. Here's what I'm going to do every day. I want to, hopefully starting next week, got a little bit of messed up in my schedule. I'm going to be at G3. I'll talk about that in just a second. Here's my idea. 5 shows every week, 1 a day. Starting with Monday. And this is where my Twitter space folks, this is for you who were listening yesterday, everybody who's in this chat. By the way, X Spacers, if y'all haven't shared this, I'm mad at y'all. I thought we were friends. Y'all already know the deal. You know how we're supposed to do this. You come in, you hit the share button, and then we're going to work this thing out. All right, everybody else do the same thing. But here's the deal. Mondays, I want to call it Marvelous Mondays. And Spaces, we were working through this concept yesterday. But everybody else, I want to call it Marvelous Mondays. And here's why. Marvelous Mondays because I think God's world is amazing and marvelous. And it works in such a way that the wicked don't win. The wicked actually have an end of destruction, not just in the life to come, but also in this current situation, this current cosmological structure. They can't success. Look, idolatry is not designed in God's world to be successful. No, you can't have my sweater, Ivy. Ivy Connolly's in the chat. What's up, Ivy? I see you on Facebook. No, you can't have my sweater. You can buy one, though. You come to Moscow, Ivy, I'll give you whatever you want. Wickedness is not designed to win. God has made it such that way. Insanity is not a long-term strategy that is successful in God's world. Idolatry is not a long-term strategy. It cannot survive in God's world. And that's a marvelous thing. And it's marvelous because guys like the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab, and you pick the bad guy out there right now, they have an end. They're not going to make it. And God is going to use, according to Proverbs, the very traps that they lay for us, for the very defiance they have against God, and the traps that they lay to try and to make God's people stumble, they're going to fall right inside those traps themselves. And so I want to take Mondays and I want to look and say, let's just ponder. What do it look like? How is God going to destroy the World Economic Forum? How is God going to crush his enemies? Let's think on those things. Let's think about what does it look like for us to be faithful? By the way, let me talk about faithfulness just for a second. What does it look like, though, for us to be faithful and for God to work? Us to be faithful and God to work. And that's why I think Mondays are going to be so marvelous. I have some theme music, by the way, for Mondays. And I want to know what y'all think. Here's my theme music for Mondays. Now, if you old school, you already know what this is. Yeah. A marvelous day, marvelous, 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 marvelous. It's already stuck in your head, ain't it? Yeah. So I'm thinking that every day has its own theme music. I see y'all laughing at me on Spaces. Don't laugh at me. Y'all can't do better than that. I like those thumbs up, though. But it's a marvelous day. Who is going... Our God sits up in the heavens and does whatever he pleases. Who's going to challenge him? And the world's all right with me. Y'all know, y'all can't wait for Monday to hear that track play and to talk about something amazing God's going to do. All right. So that's Mondays. That's Mondays. So marvelous Mondays. All right. Tuesdays. I'm going to call it T3. And here's what Tuesday stands for. T3 stands for this. Tech Theonomy Tuesdays. Tech Theonomy Tuesdays. Probably going to be already, so many people are so excited about Tech Theonomy Tuesdays because we are living in God's world afraid of the things that are coming because of technology. And that's just stupid. That's just stupid. Yes, we have to work through it. Yes, we have to. But we are Christians with such a strong Christian ethic. We should have an understanding of what it's like to have good servants. Your cell phone in your pocket. Even if you have a busted up Android, which I don't understand you Android people, something's wrong with y'all. But even if you have one, it is a wonderful, could you imagine having that? I mean, the Bible times, I mean, all the servants that you have, you are the most wealthiest person in history with the cell phone in your pocket. And your problem is that you don't know how to use it well to the glory of God. And so for Tuesdays, I want to talk about tech. I want to talk to Gravity Jack, the guys who patent augmented reality, have Luke and Jen on here working through tech. How do we use AI? How do we work AI? How do we train AI so that AI loves Jesus, just like all of my stuff loves Jesus? right? This is a covenantal setup. If I have something, it needs to work and love Jesus in the same way I do. Instead of letting tech go, complaining about it, and letting the pagans run away with all the tech, making sure their tech is going to serve their false god. That's not going to go good for us. How'd you like it through COVID? All right. I couldn't help myself. This is the music that I have for T3. What is that? In the chats, what song is that? If you don't know this song, I don't know if we can be friends. My guy Sean Graham, he knew exactly what it was. Anybody? Nobody knows what this is? Come on, people. All right, I'm gonna give y'all a second. But I think this is perfect because we have so much fear around technology taking our jobs and taking over. Yes, thank you so much. Who said that? Nathan, thank you. iPhone is for kids and old people. It's too simple. Christopher, I hope that you walk barefooted with sharp rocks. You're wrong, sir. Yes, that's the Terminator theme. So that's going to be the thing that starts out every Tuesday. T3 Tuesday, we're going to do Terminator. I think that's the perfect thing for that one. And then, hey, if you guys want to give me suggestions on maybe some days that I said Terminator first, a Velvet Still. Okay, I'm sorry. Relax. Oh, yes, it'll be said T3, so I assume. Okay, thank you, Chris. So that's Tuesday. Okay, so Wednesday. Oh, I like Wednesday. Work Wednesday. And so YouTube folks, Facebook folks, Rumble folks, Twitter video folks, everybody except for my X listeners, because they were ahead of the game. They were listening yesterday on X, like y'all should have been. Work Wednesdays. Here's what's up, man. We have such a low view of work. We think of work very, very enlightenment-like. It's probably the way to say that. It's very stale. We think, oh, we have to work in order to pay for our light bill, in order to pay for our car bill, in order to be able to pay for our vacations. But work is way more than that. Those are products of work. Those are the beautiful fruits of work, that you have money to bless somebody else because they made something that would bless you. Those are things that, but you work because God worked. Work is part of the image bearer's image bearing. He bears the image of God who worked, and he bears the image of the God who rested. So, hey, my brother's on here. Yo, what's up, Ashley? I love it. Yo, that's probably one of the highest things to have my brother on here, Facebook, watching me right now. My big brother. I love him so much, man. Salute, big bro. So much love there. But work is what image bearers do because they're designed to bear the image of God. And so it is a joy to be able to be like God. And God has worked. And this is what's so beautiful about God's work. God has worked in such a way that there are things that he has done that only he knows about, that nobody else knows about. And that kind of work was still good. And so doing work is one of those things that you do it because you love it, that you can't help but do it. And doing it, even if it doesn't have the same sort of praise. My brother has an iPhone now? That's a whole nother story. Even if it doesn't get the same sort of praise, but I am schizophrenic. Squirrel. Even if it doesn't get the same praise as something that everybody can see, there's some things just worth doing well because they're worth doing. So we got to get back to a biblical understanding of work. And here's my thought for work. I love this track. Oh, my niece is on here. What's up, Red? Oh, I got family on here. I'm about to show out. Hey, that track make you want to work though, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. You hear that and you just be like, let's get it. What I gotta crush today? You know, today I woke up and be like, I want to be like Jesus, huh? Yeah, that track bangs. So that's my work track. And again, if you guys have any other suggestions on other music I should be playing for these days, that's great. So far, We have Marvelous Mondays, Undoing the Work of the Wicked. That's on Mondays. We got T3 for Tuesdays. That's Tech Theonomy Tuesdays. It's going to be a big show. Hey, my sister, other sisters on here. Hey, Rachel. Hey, sis. I love you. It's blowing up over there on YouTube. My goodness. Now, Wednesdays, we listen to the track for Wednesday. It's Work Wednesday. Hey, you know what to do. I love that. All right, so that's Wednesdays. All right, let's get to Thursdays, and then I'm going to wrap this up. I got some thumbs up on the music. Yeah, that music legit. I love that for working. That's a good work track. So Thursdays is Thread Inception. Thread Inception Thursdays. Here's what I want to do on Thursdays. Man, our Twitter feeds are so insane. So what I want to do on Thursdays is I want to go through my Twitter feed, and I want to just, there's things that are really good, but they're not full shows to talk about. But I think the whole thread itself could be something that we can crowdsource. And this is where I really want to spend some time. Crowdsource content. I want to make sure that I want to see what it's like for us to build shows together, which is really why I like Spaces. I want us to build a whole show of my threads, what's in my thread, what's in your thread. And I want you guys to talk back and forth to me and talk about what's in our threads and just have short conversations, pithy things that we can talk about as we're going through our own threads. And so my thread, your thread, somebody else's thread, and just, I love to see who people are following, why they're following them, and the things that they say, and just kind of, I want to create our own algorithm of thread content together. So Threadception Thursdays, that's what thread, and because your spaces can be a little wild, it was hard to figure out what's a Threadception. You can easily go for Inception, but I didn't want to do Inception sound. So I thought of something else, because when I look at my thread, my X thread, this comes out my mouth so much. Not today, Satan. Yo, hey, there's so much happening, so much news. When I saw the governor of Mexico ban guns, not today, Satan. Yeah. So, got a little KB, got the little KB up in that one. Yeah, that's gonna be my music for Thursdays. My sis said she liked that one. She liked that one. Oh, this is so fun. What's up, Lindsay Rose? How you doing? This is fun, ain't it? I'm full of fun, Lindsay. Forward thinking Fridays. Sorry, not trying to get ahead. Oh, okay, listen, Nathan. Listen, Nathan. Let me talk to you. You don't get. I don't know who you are, Nathan, but I'm gonna tell you right now. You don't get to label my days. You're welcome to be here, Nathan. I like having you here. It's nice. But you start entitling my days, and I didn't ask. I did not ask you for help. I did not ask you to come in here and take over my show, and you're just doing it right from the YouTube chat. Now, Nathan, yeah, you're bad. You know, you're welcome to stay around. I'm not gonna kick you out, Nathan. I appreciate you for apologizing. See, you know what? Be like Nathan. When he was wrong, he just said sorry. He just repented, and just like that, I had to forget. I had bread in the oven, cooking, waiting for you to repent. Forgiveness bread, Nathan. We can break bread now. All right, not today. All right, that's Thursdays. All right, so Nathan, I already have Friday worked out. Although I'm forward thinking Friday is not a bad idea. It's just not my idea, so it ain't the best. My idea was this, Nathan, and everybody else who's listening. I think we need to do Family Friday. Oh my goodness, my sister said I need some WD-40 on them bones. Don't do too much dancing, bro. Lord have, when your family's in the chat, they say things that's not so like, ain't nobody else gonna tell me that except a hater. So you know it got to be family. How you gonna tell me I need some WD-40? I can still move. I can still move. That was my back. Need some WD-40 on them bones. I'm not gonna say what I want to say on here, but Family Fridays. Here's what I love about Family Fridays. It is absolutely the core of everything we do. Thank you, Nathan. Nathan said that's better. That's why it is your show. Nathan, you know what? You might be able to be an assistant to me because I like the way that you work. No diggity. Oh, my sister said she can dig Family Fridays. That's great. I'm gonna tell you who's not gonna be on Family Friday show. My sister. Ain't no mute button for the stuff she might say about me. So yeah, no, she can't be on that show. But you can listen to it, sis, and hit the share button. Just so everybody knows, I'm all over the place, not just on Spaces. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, the video side of Twitter and X side of. Oh my goodness, it's Twitter and X. Is anybody else stuttering on this when it comes to Twitter and X? Ugh. All right, so Family Fridays. What do you think I decided to do for Family Fridays? Never go against the family. When your little one is born, you baptize them. They're in the covenant. They have your last name. You gave them their first name. And before God, they're sanctified. So you spank them. You teach them to love Jesus. I mean, why would you spank them if they break the law? They're pagans. Why do they have to obey? But they're not. They're in the covenant. So Family Fridays it is. Everything we do, it comes from the family. Everything. You want to be in government? You must have a good family. No bribes. We break legs for people who take bribes. You want to be a pastor? That's a good calling. We like that. Let me see your family. You want to be a police officer? That's very good. We like guys with ethics. What's your family look like? So Family Fridays, we get to have conversations about things that deal with internal issues with the family. How do we make good families? Well, first we baptize the babies. This is dangerous. I ain't gonna lie. Something happens when that music comes on, and I turn into a whole other guy. So here's my promise. I'm gonna work hard at entertaining and engaging you. I'm gonna work hard to make a good show. I'm gonna work hard to make more content that we can enjoy, watch, and be blessed and benefit from. And I'm not trying to stay in any particular type of lane. I want to talk about everything. I want to engage everything. And here's my request. I want to ask you for your help. Let me see who's talking. The Humble Home. My son was baptized the last Sunday. Amen. Yes. Yeah. Good job. The Humble Home. I respect you very, very, very much. Amen. And so here's what I want from you. I want you to tune in for sure. That's huge. I want you to share. That's huge. I want you to download the Pub app. That's also very, very huge. But more than that, I want you to engage. I want you, and I'm trying to figure out the times for this. We're gonna be all over the place in the beginning, trying to figure out how we get the times together so that we can have the most amount of engagement. But I expect this show not to be a show that's just I'm driving. I expect this to be a show that we're all in one way or another driving. You know how you go to Kickstarter and you kind of crowdsource the funding to get it going. You know how that Angel Studios is crowdsource the funding for their movies. You know, you got Gravity Jack right now. There's a Start Engine. Go to Start Engine and fund Gravity Jack. It's probably one of the best investments you can do right now for, $348 to own, or should I say, be an investor inside of Gravity Jack and their new game that they're releasing. But the best thing what I want to do is I want to crowdsource content. I want you guys with me to create a show that we like to watch, a show that we like to talk about, the shows that we want to have. Let's crowdsource this content together. And so I don't know what to even call this yet. Is it Knox Unplugged? What is not? I don't know what this is. I'm working on the title. I don't care right now. I'll just be here. Hey, Gabe's in here. Uh-oh. Gabe, I just gave you speaking rights, if you can, I want to talk to you real quick. So Gabe's inside of X Spaces. So I'm gonna try and put this everywhere, but Gabe's inside of X Spaces. Gabe, if you can accept that, and then I'll let you in real quick because I want to talk about what I want you to do. But I want you guys to be a part. I want to give you guys a chance to come in and let's talk. Let's build content together. I don't know many places. Hey, Gabe's here. I don't know many places that are crowdsourcing content this way. And I think we have a chance to really do something unique and different and set a new trend in making content. And this is where I want to talk about Gabe. So this is what I'm doing. And Gabe yesterday, I came down and talked to him. He had, I think his show with his wife on exercise and diet and health is huge right now. And there's very few Christians in that space. And if you haven't seen his show with Annie on diet and nutrition, Gabe, I don't even know what the title of that was called, but you need to go to the Pub app, go watch that show. It was fantastic. Gabe, what was that show called?
It was just it was just my water break. His own water break. So you can actually go to the app and click on water break, and find is the last show I recorded with Annie. I can't remember the title.
Okay, but I went downstairs. I was talking to Gabe, and Gabe was like, we need to do something around business. So Gabe, what are you going to be doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's great question. So we're actually, I'm retweeting so I can talk. I'm retweeting the show right now.
Yeah, that's right, because that's the rule. I just want everybody to know. Gabe, while you're doing that, let me explain to people.
Yep.
If you don't retweet the show or share the show, you don't get to talk on the show. So we're only gonna be able to crowdsource the content.
Okay. So I can talk.
All right. Yeah, that's right. All right. Go ahead.
Yes. So we're working on a show called Business Makers. So if you guys are familiar with our Fight Laugh Feast conference, we have a pre-conference called Business Makers Conference. And, one of the things that I thought our network should have had, 10 years, 5 years ago was a show on business. And all that show does is connect and highlight businesses, Christian businesses that are innovating. This plays off our TV show, This America. But I think we need to do a better job highlighting Christian businesses and CEOs and what they're doing, how they're innovating the market, how they're creating a company culture, how they're thinking about maybe investing in other businesses, buying other businesses to add to their portfolio, but also a way of highlighting businesses that we can all work with. I just literally, the reason why I wasn't able to come on earlier, I just literally got off the phone with an investor, and there's a lot going on in the market, and there's a lot of need for people to find out about businesses that are fighting cancel culture. If you guys remember, just 4 weeks ago, we got kicked off Vimeo.
Oh my goodness.
We get suspended. We get suspended YouTube every 5 months or whatever that is. We don't even release full shows on YouTube anymore. The only way to get our full show is in our Fight Laugh Feast app or in Rumble.
The only
way right now to get our full show.
We get suspended
because
YouTube
we release shorts and good short clips,
and we don't even
clips on YouTube. And that's been good. Our audience has been happy, but they're
the only way
to
get
on
our
YouTube
full show
because of cancel culture.
App
and so
that's the only
we
way
have to, I think, do a better job
because YouTube constantly
we
release shorts
for the business.
So
short
clips
and
5-minute
clips
a
on Business Makers
and
podcast.
That's been good. Our audience has been happy, but they're getting full shows on YouTube because of cancel culture.
Basically every week.
And so
I'll interview someone involved as an entrepreneur, involved in starting a business, or involved in running a business.
So I'm starting
a
Business Makers podcast.
We have to find each other, and we have to grow. We have to, particularly, I think Christians.
Basically, every week,
I was talking to
interview someone involved
some friends
as an entrepreneur
on Wednesday, I think it was this week, and we were just talking about how.
And so,
my dad,
we have to find
his previous generation.
We have to, particularly, I think Christians. I was talking to,
I think, cared more about job security than about building.
On Wednesday, I think it was.
But also,
week, and we're just
got to remember the historical context there. Remember, my dad's parents grew up in the 1930s. right?
Went to work
when the economy was horrible, FDR was horrible, all that stuff.
Cared more about
job security, I think, became such an important thing for the next generation. Because that's what happens to their parents.
Context there. Remember,
and because of that,
parents grew up in the 1930s.
The risks were not
right?
our previous generation was horrible. The risks that they should have, building businesses, starting businesses, being entrepreneurs, and so forth. And so now we don't have kind of the key infrastructure. We don't know. Christians don't own the key infrastructure, which is why
the risks were not our previous generation was not taking the risk that they should have, building
Texas right after Alberta fell,
entrepreneurs and so forth. And so now we don't have.
After Roe v. Wade
key infrastructure. We don't know. Christians don't own the key infrastructure, which is why
GoDaddy,
domain service for us,
canceled Texas Right to Life.
You remember GoDaddy canceled Texas Right to Life after Alberta fell.
The culture wars kind of heat up.
No, excuse me. After Roe v. Wade fell,
working on building a Christian economy, and so my Business Makers podcast is going to be probably released once a week. It'll probably be 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, trying to keep it tight because I want to build kind of a business community. So part of this, I'm going to create an opportunity
Business Makers podcast.
Anybody who owns a business
probably
has something good to say
once a week. It'll probably be 30 minutes,
building a business,
maybe 40 minutes, trying to keep it tight because
our current political climate with businesses. I want to get them on the show. I don't care if they have their own
create an opportunity for
single
anybody who owns a business,
single employee company, or if they have
about
10 people
building a
business,
company
about
500 people. Our current political climate with businesses, I want to get them on the show. I don't care if they have their own podcast,
and let's build this Christian economy and let's get it out there.
When is it?
That's kind of something that's going on behind the scenes that is going to be coming out here pretty soon.
When is it starting?
Probably, I just
no, I just put you on the spot because you just talking. You're just talking a whole lot of hair right now. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
Well, no. But what happened was, so businessmakers.network is our website, and it's just a landing page. Nothing going on there really right now. But I had to buy the Twitter handle, Business Makers, because some business guy in Texas owned it and hadn't used it since like 2018, and so I just literally connected with him this week and literally paid $500 to buy Business Makers Twitter handle. And so I don't even have access to that yet. So I got to get a couple of infrastructural things out, but I could see this in the next 2 weeks having a first show out.
Okay. So, and what days are you planning on releasing that?
Well, we'll record on Friday, and we just got to discuss. I got to discuss that with you what day we think would be. We should release it, but we'll be recording likely on Friday.
Okay, we got to get that out on Friday. I think when you record it, we get it out. I think it'd be great to do. Last thing before I let you go, and before we end this up, let's talk about the conference real quick. Let's talk about the FLF conference. Why we decided to do it on Sixth-Day Creation, politics, Sixth-Day Creation, and what to expect at the Fight Left Feast conference.
Yeah, great question, Knox. So our modern education is broken, and it's been fraught with Mr. Potato Head science. So the evolutionary framework is the predominating framework for our science and has impacted the church significantly. Biologos is peddling some sort of gap theory science and some sort of evolutionary science, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you got major sections of evangelical Christendom peddling evolutionary theory as being consistent with God's word. In addition to that, you see right now with if you can evolve over 4 million years from stardust into human, why in a year can you not evolve from a man to a woman? And we're in this, Mr. Potato Head scientific era where it is that evolutionary framework has impacted us so greatly. It's just now destroying our children physically. So it's destroying our children spiritually. Now you're seeing the physical ramifications of that evolutionary worldview in real time, in 6 months, in 1 year, in 2 years, in a person's life. And so the politics of Sixth-Day Creation is so critical to our current climate, and we need to be able to respond like Christians intelligently to this, Mr. Potato Head scientific era that we're in right now. So six-day creation matters. Everything, the whole our whole current political context could be described in Genesis chapter 1 through Genesis chapter 11.
Mm.
And so that's why I think this conference is so important. And like we got some great speakers lined up. Of course, some of the oldie but goodies, Pastor Toby, Pastor Doug. We also have Joe Rigney, who's just going to be so poetic on all this. We got Michael Foster. We got Gordon Wilson. You guys haven't even heard Gordon yet. Gordon's topic. Gordon's got a book out that we're actually interviewing him next week on. Basically, the essentials of six-day creation. That's basically Gordon Wilson's talk. Ken Ham is going to be speaking. So it's we really do, I think, need to prioritize and better understand how evolutionary worldview in our current Mr. Potato Head scientific culture is driving our sexual lust and our trans culture that we're seeing right now. So it's satanic, and the politics of six-day creation is everything in how we respond to what's going on to it in this moment. So, when we came up with this topic, we came up with it. We always come up with these topics because we think, like, yeah, we need to talk about that. But then as the year goes along, it's funny how like the topic becomes more important. And this has happened like several topics of our past conferences. We were like, yeah, we need to talk about that. And then as the year goes along, I'm glad we end up being like, oh man, I'm glad we came up with that topic. And so that's happened. And we're going to be at the Ark Encounter. I mean, Ken Ham and what they've built there. So me, Knox, and Toby last year, we got a chance to walk through the Ark Encounter to make sure it's going to be a good experience for our conference. And the event center building's beautiful. It's great. It's fantastic. It's going to be comfortable for families and everything. But the Ark Encounter, when you pull up, it's like almost like a Jurassic Park experience. You actually park in the parking lot about a mile away from the building. A bus comes and picks you up. And it's like the Jurassic Park kind of drive up into the kind of event center and everything. And then from the event center, you actually walk through a rainbow to get to the Ark. And the Ark is, I don't know, a quarter of a mile away from the event center. I mean, it's probably not even that far. But it is a beautiful campus. There's a nice outdoor park right next to the event center, so it's a very family-friendly kind of conference event center. And then you walk to the Ark, and when I walked through the Ark, we only had about 20 minutes to walk through the Ark. And you really, basically, what we were instructed by our buddy Eddie is like, doing like a 3-hour experience walking through the Ark is what it really deserves. Because you're going through 3 floors of the Ark. And the way they present the Ark, they present it as a historical, scientific, and gospel experience.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling the kids out of school. We're all pulling Toby, Knox. We're all pulling our kids out of school because we want our kids to experience the Ark Encounter. Because it really, if you think about the Ark, you think about the historical reality and fact of the Ark. You think about the Ark, you think about the scientific ramifications of a worldwide flood and what that means, especially to like places like the Grand Canyon. You think of the gospel. I mean, you have salvation and damnation wrapped up in the Ark Encounter. So I'm excited to be able to have my kids experience the Ark Encounter and to be able to see it presented. And if you guys know Ken Ham, he's a stickler. I mean, he wants the Ark to be presented as best as possible according to scriptures.
That's right. He's not playing.
And he's a stickler about that. They don't even everything. Like even their logo design, they wanted the Ark designed on their logos and on their branding to look, kind of life size. But they didn't want giraffes' heads poking out and being the biggest, feature of the logo design or whatever. They've done a great thing trying to the scriptures on how they built the Ark and present everything. So there's a petting zoo. They literally have a petting zoo at the Ark. It's a fun experience. I'm excited to go. I know the sacrifice everyone makes to come to a conference like this out in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, flying into Cincinnati Airport, driving there. it's quite a sacrifice, and it's expensive. It's expensive for my family to get my family out there. I know the sacrifice that it takes, but man, I'm pulling my kids out of school because I think that sacrifice is so worth it, given kind of the experience of the art counter and the topic of what's going on with the politics of creation.
Are you done?
So there you go, Knox.
Well, that was,
there's no pitch.
You know,
Yeah,
what?
there's no pitch, man.
I'm pretty sure everybody went to sleep. We lost like 15 followers as soon as you started talking about this conference. You know why, Gabe? Why?
No, I saw people hop in.
No, I'm looking at all the numbers, and everybody dropped like 50. You started talking. I just gotta. You gotta work on your show, man. Like this is disappointing. You gotta be more excited. Or are you even at the studio? Or are you at the house? What are you doing?
I'm in the studio downstairs.
Oh, okay. Because I was feeling a lazy spirit on you.
So see that's.
See, that's the.
Did you see that Spaces has the ability for everyone to chat in a single thread now?
Wait, where?
Killing it.
I mean,
that is awesome.
Where's it at?
Yeah, thank you, Ellie. Ellie dropped in. So you look at Spaces,
yeah,
and on the bottom right-hand side, there's a little
messages.
Click that, and it's just a thread of people chatting in Spaces. Yeah, that's the Twitter Spaces thread. Hey, Charles put in my show with my wife.
I saw that. Yes, I did see that. Yeah. Lily has it in there for the politics of 6-day creation for the conference. What was the show called? Why is there a picture of me? No, thank you. Ooh, I got to worry about the bags underneath my eyes. I guess we can put it all the way real. Yeah. Oh, so you know what? Lily, okay. Lily trying to get a job at Cross Politics because she's up here like posting all the comments on YouTube and Twitter. She's cross-platforming. Yes, Lord TV is in the fight.
Cross Politics can't hire Lily. She works for Pango. Cross Politics. Lily works for Pango Media.
Okay, so the wife show, the one with you and your
Cross Politics can't hire her.
A water boy and wife, any wrench points gave idolatry in the health industry. Oh, okay, that's the show. So you got. What I did was I went to Twitter and I shared it on the YouTube and Facebook and the Twitter video. You can see all there. I think I gotta talk about TikTok real quick before I go. Let me tell you this: if you're not on TikTok and you're a content creator, Nathan, you're still here.
And then we got to go because we got.
We have something. What we have, Gabe? I don't know what you're talking about. TikTok.
No, keep going.
TikTok. Last night,
me and you, we have an interview scheduled here in 30 minutes.
Oh, who we interviewing with? Gabe, I don't like those surprise interviews. Who we interviewing with?
No, we're going to go.
I that's what I figured the interview meant. Who?
This ain't a surprise on our production counter.
Oh my goodness. All right. So okay, then I gotta go because Dad said I gotta leave.
Dead Man Walking has us coming on. They're coming to our conference. They're boothing. They're gonna be recording a bunch of shows.
Well, them I can do. Okay. Well, here's the deal. I've heard all the bad stuff about. I don't care. I'm gonna mute you, Gabe, because you don't know how to mute your own mic. So I'll mute you for you. I don't care. They already have your information. They already have your content. If you think it's safe, you're wrong. It's just, yeah. So I'm over all the bad stuff on TikTok. And here's why. I got on TikTok last night, finally made an account, and I started uploading videos at about 11:40. And if you know anything about social media, they will ding you if you upload too much content at once. And so I just wanted to see how open TikTok was. By the way, let me tell you, I don't have any followers. Maybe have one now. I'll probably have more after this. Guys, I'm on TikTok. But I uploaded to TikTok, and within 4 to 5 minutes of uploading 6 clips, I had something like 600-700 views in just 4 minutes. I've not seen anything like that on an algorithm. Nothing compares to the algorithm. no followers, just uploaded a bunch of clips, and they reward you with hundreds of views in 4 minutes. The impact and the reach on that platform is insane. And not to use it in some way, I don't care that you don't use it. Not to be on that platform is ridiculous. Not to be making content on that platform, if you're a content creator, is ridiculous. And my goal is not to. Everybody else acts like they want to keep their. I'm a product of Darren Doan. I learned from Darren Doan. There is no secrets with Darren. Darren tells you the he uses, all the stuff he has. He tells you how he does it. He tells you his method in operation. I learned from the old school guys. The old school guys who wanted you to be out there making content too. Because the more content that's made, the more competition there is, the better it is for the market. We're not evolutionists. I did not ask you to speak. What are you doing?
Knox, let me hop in here.
Okay. Yeah, it.
Let me hop in here. Let me hop in here real quick too. The other thing about TikTok, I know. The other thing about TikTok. So right now, probably the average age of those who are like on Facebook are like 35 and older.
Woo!
The average age of those who are on Twitter.
That's old.
The average age of those who are on Twitter is probably something like around like 18, 20, 22 years old. So, excuse me, on TikTok, not Twitter. So Twitter, I think, is doing the best job right now, kind of getting the spread of demographic. But TikTok is getting the younger audience, and Facebook is getting the older audience.
Yeah.
So
easily.
to be relevant to the next generation, I'm with you on all the stupidity of TikTok and China owning it and all that stuff. It's capturing the next generation right now, so there's a real opportunity. I've been doing a bunch of research on, and Knox, you can cut me off anytime you want, but I've been doing a bunch of research on cable Fox Network. Fox Network, it's about 2 to 3 million viewers a night tuning in. But the age of that viewership, about 90 to 95% of that viewership is 50 years and older. Fox is going to be irrelevant in 20 years because that demographic is getting.
Yeah, you're breaking up because you're probably being lazy somewhere down.
Get older than 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds, 25-year-olds.
No, you're
Fox is capturing the older generation, and we have to. Now, go ahead.
Now I'm gonna give I'm gonna give Stuart so he can come in here because he was just doing something. Now Stuart is I think president or Dandada of a big dog of page 50. You can unmute the mic, Stuart. And he was doing some testing on X.
Dandada.
Whatever you like, you choose it. He was just testing on TikTok last night.
I don't care. I don't care about that.
So go ahead, Stuart. Tell everybody what you were doing with TikTok.
All right. So I own a media marketing company. And so I'm always playing around with algorithms and stuff like that, seeing where the hot stuff is and what's working well. So I just ran a test. So I've been curating a Twitter platform for, probably working hard at it for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. And then I've been working hard inside of the Made space for a long time. Every time I'm in there, I just feel gross about it. But whatever, teach their own. So I have been opposed to operating in the TikTok space for a long time. I just didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to go into it. It was like this emotional response that I was having. So last night I said, you know what? I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to mess with it. We're going to see what happens. So I step into it. And I post the exact same post. So now, keep in mind, I have curated 0 followership in TikTok. I have done nothing. I literally made my account. I think it was active for about a week before I posted for the first time. And I dropped something in Meta. I dropped something in X. And I dropped something in TikTok all at the same time.
What's Meta?
TikTok
What's Meta? What is Meta?
I'm sorry, Facebook, Instagram. I say Meta's Facebook, Instagram.
What is
Sorry, so I just say that to cover both of those pieces.
No, don't you act like everybody know what Meta is. Ain't nobody know what no Meta is. What is a Meta?
My bad. It's the Facebook, Instagram space. If I put something there, I just count it as being on both of those platforms.
You mean Meta?
Oh, my bad.
Meta?
Oh,
Like a
man.
Meta?
But look, so here's the gist. The TikTok side, man, I'm from the deep south.
Oh,
Come
really?
on.
I didn't know.
We all got that. So the TikTok side of things ran laps around that, man. If you're operating inside of a TikTok space, you get way more work. Like you get way more bang for your buck. Now, the argument could easily be made, I would say, that those are inflated numbers. And I think that's probably true, probably similar to podcast count metrics. Different people use pings depending, other people use full download metrics. That's probably true to an extent. But the idea that I've never worked inside of that space, I posted one thing. I got 7 followers, 150 likes, 125 likes, and over 1,000 views, and it's still going. That's something. There's a great opportunity for us now. It's video content, and so I own a marketing company, media production company. So video content's a little easier for me to produce than others. But if you got the time and can curate some pieces of content for that platform, there's a place to take dominion. There's a spot for you. And I would argue too that if you're jumping in from the beginning, like if you're just starting, they're going to push you a little harder to make you want to come back as a content creator. So I think there's a good opportunity here.
Mm. All right. So it's time to go. And we've talked way more than I actually expected to do because I wasn't planning on being here. But I just want you guys on all our social media platforms. I wanted all of you guys to know what was going on, what was going to start happening. If you're on YouTube, we've taken, I heard Gabe say this earlier, but we've taken all of our videos, our live shows off of YouTube. Their algorithm is changing, structure is changing. So we're going to put up clips from those shows. Go download the Pub app and get it from there. We're going to keep pushing all of our shows to YouTube. We're going to have a bunch of shorts coming out. We're going to have middle to 16-minute clips coming out. The full shows will all be on the app. And I'm going to be doing live engagements every day, probably starting next week after I get back from G3, which, by the way, I've heard from Virgil. I think this is going to happen. I'm going to do a post cap of the G3 day every evening with Virgil Walker. So I'm going to try and get everybody, all the big G3 to do the thing with me. But we'll see. But I just thought that way, start the content going daily. So I'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'll try and do the show on Monday. We're gonna have Knox Unplugged that drops Monday, and then we're gonna have Marvelous Mondays, and then we're gonna have, of course, Politics will drop Tuesday. The rest of the week next week, I'll be at G3, and I'm gonna do a post show of the G3 conference with Virgil Walker. The following week, it's gonna kick in full Marvelous Mondays. T3 for Tuesdays, which is Tech, Theonomy Tuesdays, Work Wednesdays, Thread, Inception Thursdays, and Family Fridays. All right. I don't know what your music to end with right now. I'm just not going to end with any. How about that? Thank you guys for joining me. Remember, we're going to be doing this together. So we'll start crowdsourcing this content next week. Appreciate you guys.